City of Lawrence Common Council. It is November 20th, 2019. The meeting is now called to order. Can we all please stand for Pledge of Allegiance and prayer? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. May the words of our mouth and the meditation of our heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, our strength and our Redeemer. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. Okay, we have a quorum. Next on the agenda is comments of council members and special recognitions or resolutions.
Madam President.
Yes, Councilor Hall?
Jones.
Jones?
I'd like to take time to thank Chief Patalis, Chief Hoffman, Sergeant Keaton, and the rest of the firemen for showing up in Incrediplex at Timmy Takedown, which was a joint effort with Riley Hospital. I heard a lot of great things, and they truly made a big impact on those young kids that may not have a full life like the rest of us. So thank you guys for being there.
What was the name of the event?
Timmy Takedown.
Timmy Takedown.
Thank you. Any other counselors? Seeing none, next on the agenda is signing of vouchers, approval of claims, and authorization of payment. Is there a motion?
Make the motion.
Motion, Counselor Freeman.
Second.
Second, Counselor Hall. Any discussion? All in favor by show of hands? Motion carries unanimous. Next, we have unfinished business. Proposal number 12, 2019.
Proposal number 12, 2019, introduced by Councilors Chevlot and Giles. A proposal for an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Lawrence, Indiana, amending the Lawrence Municipal Code to establish a non-reverting fund to fund benefit payments for retiring employees.
Okay, that will remain in finance. Proposal number 14, 2019.
Proposal number 14, 2019, introduced by Councilors Chevlot and Giles. A proposal for an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Lawrence, Indiana, establishing a new internal services fund, Fund 703 Garage Fund.
Okay, so the full council will hear that tonight in lieu of the finance meeting scheduled for earlier. Okay? All right, so I'm going to turn it over to Controller Fenwick, and then I'm going to have Councilor Giles lead any discussion that we have regarding that.
So this ordinance, if you remember, we adopted the 2020 budget a couple of weeks ago, and in that budget we created a garage internal services fund, which took some of the garage cost out of the street department, put it into the internal service fund, will then be allocated amongst the departments that use the garage. And by doing that, in part, it allows us to then add 2 new staff positions at the street department. So this ordinance is basically just creating that fund that the budget is funding.
Okay, and I know we've talked about this already during the budget process, but I did want to give any counselor the opportunity to ask any questions that you might have. Okay, seeing none.
Madam Chair,
Yes, Councilor Giles.
I would like to make a motion to approve proposal number 14, please.
Okay, motion, Councilor Giles. I'll second it. Second, Councilor Chavis. Any discussion? All in favor by show of hands? Motion carries unanimous. Next, we have proposal number 15, 2019.
Proposal number 15, 2019, introduced by Councilors Chavis and Freeman. A proposal for an ordinance authorizing the issuance of the City of Lawrence, Indiana taxable economic development revenue bonds and the lending of the proceeds thereof to Fort Living LLC and authorizing and approving other actions in respect thereto.
So We have Aletha here from the Fort Harrison Reeves Authority that's just going to give us a brief description and can also answer any questions that we may have.
Yes. Hello, thank you. Again, yes, Aletha Dunstan with the Fort Harrison Reeves Authority. Excited to be here today to propose the next step in our newest development to finish out the Fort Harrison reuse project. So this is the area, it's about 7.9 acres bordered by Memorial Park Drive to the north, Otis Avenue to the south, Lee Road to the east, and Lawrence Village Parkway to the west. So if you're familiar with the fort, where the existing apartment product has been located, and I think those are about 10 years old at this point, this was always supposed to be the next phase in that multifamily development expansion. When they failed to meet their former commitments, we went through the process of buying that property back and seeking another partner. I'd like to think that we've kind of come to the table with something stronger and even better for the fort. So we're here today with Cityscape Residential doing business as Fort Living LLC to bring 261 new market rate luxury apartments to the fort. We have folks here from Cityscape to answer questions about the actual project itself. We also have our bond counsel here with us and Angie Stino from Crow as a financial advisor to answer any questions about establishing this actual allocation area within the TIF. But other than that, I'm here to answer any questions you might have.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Councilor Hall?
Hi, Lisa. And I think I've kind of prepped you to my question beforehand, but getting something out on the record and to the rest of the councilors, I think, would help. So one of my concerns is, again, I love the idea of bringing more people to the fort, but I want to make sure that we are staying within our large-scale plan and we have the ability to be a destination for Indianapolis and Central Indiana residents. So if we do approve this area and these apartments do go in, where do some of the storefronts go into? What the restaurants, the other things that that attract residents or attract people to our community?
Yeah, I'd say if you look at the fort as one mixed-use project, we still have reserved a lot of acreage along 56th Street and Otis Avenue, with those facing 56th Street being able to be more kind of regional or community level retailer services, and those on Otis being smaller footprint neighborhood level services and retail planned for the future. I joke and say they could have been done, redoing the fort years ago, but it might be a lot of fast food and banks also on this side of the street. So we're very proud that they waited and held out so that we can get the right number of rooftops here at the fort, as well as the right income levels to start attracting that level of retail that can service the whole community.
I understand you're stuck with a chicken and egg, right? Do we put the people in and therefore attract the businesses, or do we attract the businesses and attract the people? So this is your effort to build the fort with the residents first.
Correct.
Okay, thank you. Any other counselors?
Yeah, I have a question. How many apartments did you say this would actually be?
261.
261. And you say they're affordable?
No, they're market rate.
Market rate. Okay, and that is, just for clarification, the difference between, say, affordable and market rate? Or is there a difference?
I can have.
Or subsidized and market rate?
These would be
are not subsidized.
These would be non-subsidized. These would basically be charged at the rate that others are allowed to charge in the
Whatever they go
market.
for, I
Right.
see. And you said that you had a public hearing on this and no one showed,
We've had our first hearing with council. We had an economic development committee meeting, and then the Fort Harrison Reeves Authorities held a public hearing. We were to have a finance committee hearing this afternoon, but we didn't have a quorum, so we've moved this discussion into this meeting, as I understand it.
thank you.
Any other counselors? Counselor Hall?
I do, but I have a question for Fort Living LLC more.
Okay,
I'll invite them up.
thank you.
All right, thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
Good evening. I'm Ashley Bedell with Cityscape Residential, and we will be the developer of the project through Fort Living.
And I think I talked to you a little bit before the meeting as well, but again, something to put out there for everybody. So what are the constituents, the renters that you're looking to bring to these apartments? And then what what is the kind of breakdown to studio versus 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, et cetera?
As far as where we see residents coming from, we think our project will attract a variety of residents, be it people who are currently working in the Fort area, whether it's at DFAS or through the numerous tech companies that have popped up recently on the Fort that are looking to live close to where they work. We're also excited about the Purple Line development, and we think as Lawrence has that great connectivity into downtown, that's going to bring a lot of new residents, people who are currently living maybe more on the northeast side and want to be closer to downtown and not fighting the traffic, and like being right next to the state park as well. So we see a lot of professionals living here.
Do you have an idea on the breakdown of, is it 2 and 3-bedroom apartments?
We do not have any studio apartments. We have some 1-bedrooms, 2-bedrooms, and then a low number of 3-bedrooms.
Garages?
Yes, there will be some garages that are attached to the buildings for residents to park in, so they can choose if they want a garage or just parking in the surface lot.
And is there a community? I understand there are some storefront doors. Is there a community area for your offices or for the residents?
We have focused kind of our clubhouse, our leasing office and amenity area right there at the corner of Lawrence Village Parkway and Otis, to try and kind of give that commercial feel. It has a lot of glass storefront. That area will be where we do our leasing out of. It'll be where our residents come to grab a cup of coffee, where some games are located to kind of create a sense of community, a kitchen area, fitness, business center, conference room. So it will have that commercial feel. That was important to the Reuse Authority.
That's all I have.
Thank you. Any other counselors?
Question. Can you safely say the market rate around $1,100, $1,200 a month?
It will really just vary based on market demand. If we were, opening today, I would feel comfortable with that. We don't know where the market's going to go in the future, so I don't want to commit to any numbers on what our rates will be.
Do you know what type of security it would be? Would you just go into the building and it'd be a security door, or do you need a key card or something to get in there? Or
The residents will all have some type of a key fob. I'm not sure how technology will change over the next couple of years, but we will have secured, what we call them secured corridors, so that in order to access the building, you do need to have some type of key card system. And then we'll have call boxes. So if you have a delivery coming or a guest coming, they're able to stand at the door and call, and then you can let them in.
Madam Chair,
Strauss?
excuse me. When do you expect this project to be completed?
We are currently finishing up our design right now, and we hope to start construction in the near future. It'll depend a little what Mother Nature brings, and then we usually have probably about 18 to 24 months before we're completely done with construction. The project is laid out in multiple buildings, so we'll have our first building with our clubhouse and some units come on, and then a month or so after that, the next phase, and then the final phase.
Okay, thank you.
Any other counselors? Nope. Okay, seeing none, thank you.
Thank you.
Excuse me, Councilor Chase, Madam Chair. I would like to make a proposal to approve, I would like to make a motion to approve proposal number 15.
Okay, there's a motion. Is there a second?
second?
Second, Counselor Freeman. Any more discussion? All in favor by show of hands? Motion carries unanimous. Thank you. Okay, next on the agenda, we have new business, resolution number 5, 2019.
Resolution number 5, 2019, introduced by Councilors Chavis and Giles, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Lawrence, Indiana, approving funding for the Lawrence United Methodist Church Youth Corps Program.
Okay, is there a motion?
Yes.
Madam President, I'd like to make a motion.
Motion. Counselor Hall? Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Counselor Freeman. Any discussion?
I have a quick question. What was the amount again, please?
That's 6,500.
6,500. And when, it may not be appropriate to ask this meeting, but do we have a tally on how much is actually in that fund or what's left in that fund?
Well, we've only approved $50,000 for the Gateway project and $20,000 for the Veteran Center. Did I get it?
Okay, so.
That's all we've approved so far.
70 out of 100 so far.
Yes.
And we have the,
And we have pending, I don't know if that's come out or not, but we do have some legal fees for energy savings that will come out of that as well.
Do we vote on that?
No,
The legal fees?
no.
They just
We've
come out?
incurred them. We've incurred them over time. We'll vote on them maybe under the vouchers. Won't they come under the vouchers? Yeah. I think we might already did it. So we have funds in this to pass this resolution.
Okay.
What's the amount? This is the first time.
6,500.
1,500 for both,
Yeah, and it would have been in our, the information that Kathy sent out
5 and 6.
Which one's 5?
Our cost is 5.
for the youth corps.
You want to speak to it a little bit?
Yeah, you want Counselor Giles to highlight resolution number 5, or do you have any questions?
That's
Amounts
just the
in
first
section
I've heard
2.
of it, so.
So that would have been included in the information that Kathy sent out for the meeting.
The amounts in section 2.
Okay, so I don't want to rush it, but we do have a motion and a second, but is there any more discussion?
I also had a question. We can, with the way the money is distributed, is there an issue with that? They can accept the money?
Yeah, I can.
We don't write checks, right? It's a PO versus, but the way we can distribute the money is okay.
Well, it's a little different for them because they're not like building something or repairing something. It's literally somewhat of a grant or contribution that we're making to them, so.
Good.
And we do run all this by Controller Fenwick to make sure that we're above board. And legal, through our legal team. Any other discussion? Seeing none, we have a motion and second. All in favor by show of hands. Okay. Motion,
Wasn't unanimous.
looks like we have,
Resolution.
are you opposed?
Opposed, yes.
Opposed. Counselor Jones? Motion carries. Next, we have resolution number 6, 2019.
Resolution number 6, 2019, introduced by Councilors Chavis and Giles, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Lawrence, Indiana, approving funding for the Reset Center.
Okay, is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion, Counselor Freeman. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second, Counselor Hall. Any discussion? And maybe before we discuss it, Counselor Giles, can you just give a high-level overview of resolution number 6?
Thank you. Thank you so much. Resolution number 6 is an opportunity, I feel like, for the council and the city to be a part of some of a solution or be a part of a piece of trying to support some of the issues that are challenging our community. The Reset Center has been coming to the community and has been working pretty diligently with some of the young people and families in some of our most vulnerable part of the city. As we don't have an opportunity to maybe fix all the problems, but we have opportunity to give. So this grant was, they're going to be doing rides to grocery store for some of the folks in the community. So it's an opportunity for us to be on the positive side of addressing some of the issues of the food desert. They've also been running community events off there as far as the Taco Tuesday, bringing in the community as well, and then supporting some of the English and second language classes and some of the stuff like that that I've supported, that I look at this as an opportunity for us to kind of support an organization that is providing a public safety interest in our city, as well as a workforce development issue in our city as well. And then I've also seen where they have a collaboration to bring the psychologists in to work with some of the folks who are dealing with some of the trauma of some of the issues and violence that happens, unfortunately, in some of our most vulnerable parts of the city. So it's just an opportunity for us to just support and be kind of, I looked at this as an opportunity for us to kind of be on the right side of trying to battle some of these ills of our community.
Any questions?
Madam President, I got a question. Unless I misunderstood Counselor Hall, I thought he said one was 6,500 and one was 5,000.
No, they're both 6,500.
Okay,
Any other questions or discussion?
that's okay.
Okay, seeing none, we have a motion and a second. All in favor by show of hands. Motion carries unanimous. We're adjourned.